The 7900 series pump is a bag-in-a-box pump. The bag-in-a-box pump can accommodate two 35-pound boxes of oil. One sits on the upper deck and one sits on the lower deck. Each of these decks are heated. There's a heat pad that will warm this top box up here, and then a heat pad that will warm the lower box. If you're using liquid oil, it really is not going to do much other than keep it warm and make sure that it stays liquid. If you're using an oil like coconut oil, which solidifies at room temperature, you want to get the heated option. With the heated option, the pump internally inside here is heated, so that'll keep that oil warm so it won't solidify. And then the lines also will have a heater that accompanies them or comes with them that keeps the lines warm. Those heaters will plug into the receptacles that are on the side of the pump. If we're using an oil like coconut oil, which is solid at room temperature, you're going to want to get a backroom warmer. The backroom warmer is just a warming unit that'll heat the boxes up and keep the oil liquid so you're able to transfer them over to your pump and use it right away. If it's a coconut oil, to put it on this warmer will take about 24 hours for it to melt thoroughly through. So having 4 boxes staged on the warmer ready to go will ensure the fact that you won't run out of oil on your pump. Each of these shelves are heated, and you could put 4 boxes of oil on there, and that'll just sit in the back room. It's a low wattage heater. It'll just keep that oil warm so it stays liquid. To connect the 7900 pump, what we want to do first is, on the machine, when you get a new machine, you'll have a hose already on there. We want to go ahead and disconnect that hose. Let me go ahead and remove the clamp. Then I'm going to go ahead and remove this hose. First thing I want to do is go ahead and install the rear hose. This is the one that goes from the machine to the rear fitting. Get my pliers. There's a spring clamp on this one. We're going to go ahead and slide it into place. And then slide the spring clamp up to hold the hose onto the tubing. Next, we want to go ahead and remove the shipping caps that are on the pump. And then we're going to go ahead and connect the front hose to the pump. This one has a barb fitting on there that you would just slide on, and then take your pliers to slide your spring clamp down to hold the tube onto the pump. This being a heated version, you'll also have to connect the heater to it. Just plug it in and then twist the cap. Move this stuff out of the way. Now I want to position this bag-in-a-box pump in front of the machine. I'm going to get the power cord for the pump. That's that square plug. That'll plug into the back of the bag-in-a-box pump here. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and slide my pump, or bring my pump back. The rear hose has a quick disconnect that'll allow you to remove the pump if you have to remove it for any reason. Go ahead and slide it down. And then again, this being a heated version pump, we're going to connect the rear heater to the rear receptacle here. Once you have everything connected, we can go ahead and slide this pump in position. The box of oil, this one's already liquid here. When you get it, there's an arrow that will indicate the position that you should be, or direction that you should put the box on the shelf. We'll go ahead and put this box in on the lower shelf. That's generally where you're going to operate the pump from, the lower shelf. You're going to open this cardboard section here. It's perforated. You want to be careful. You don't want to use a knife or anything like that, because if you jab into that cardboard and puncture the bag of oil in there, you're going to have a mess. So open up the perforated section of the box, pull your valve out. Then the bag connector, we want to open it up It'll just snap open. You'll see this channel here. We're going to slide it down over this groove here on the valve. I'm going to slide it up here actually. Open the valve all the way, slide it up in position. Once we get in position, we're going to go ahead, grab the tabs, and push down on the center portion of it. Being that the oil is liquid, you should start seeing the oil fill up in this front tube. Once this front tube fills up, you want to lift this tube up to allow the oil to drain toward the fitting, down toward the gears, which will prime it. And then when we go to initiate it to check our oil, it'll draw the oil through there into the kettle. So once we get that all connected, then the next thing we want to do is go ahead and set the time on this pump. On this pump here, the timer is located behind this hole plug. You can see that timer right down there along with the dip switches. That's where you'll make your adjustment to adjust the amount of oil that's going to be delivered into that pump. The plug-in timer is just like the 7700 pump timer, where you'll notice there'll be a bank of 10 dip switches. There'll be a decal that'll list the time setting for each of those switches. And each of those switches basically will double in time. So switch 1 is 1 second, 2 is 2 seconds, 3 is 4 seconds, and 4 is 8 seconds. If I have multiple switches on, you add those times together. So if I have switch 3, which is 4 seconds, and switch 4, which is 8 seconds on, that'll allow this pump to run for a total of 12 seconds. And you can take your measuring cup, stick it up underneath the discharge tube there to check how much oil is being delivered into the kettle. And generally, we want about a 3-to-1 ratio of corn to oil.